When I spoke in February at the National Prayer Breakfast, I raised the question about how men like Dietrich Bonhoeffer and William Wilberforce had bucked the popular culture and taken brave stands against, in the case of Wilberforce, the slave trade, and in the case of Bonhoeffer, National Socialism. And I asked, how did they see what they saw? And I answered it. I said there's only one answer, one word, how they saw what they saw, and that's Jesus, because it is He who opens our eyes. God Himself opens our eyes to see the things that we would not see apart from Him. Into that august company of Wilberforce and Bonhoeffer, I put my friend Seamus Hassan, because he has seen things that, for whatever reason, many of us have not been able to see. His eyes were open to the threat our contemporary culture and government pose to religious liberty long before it became as brutally pointed a threat as it is today. God opened his eyes to see that. He obeyed and did something about it, and again, that's why we're here. If you're looking for proof that the threats are more significant today than ever before, I would say you can look at the one evidence for me was how amazed people were at what I said at the National Prayer Breakfast. So many people said to me, "That was so brave of you," and I thought, "Are you kidding? Really? In a free country, to say a few things?" Winsomely, I didn't even say it particularly boldly. To do that is brave. It just goes to show you, my friends, the cultural pressure to keep our mouths shut. Well, by God's grace, we won't keep our mouths shut. I want to bring up a couple examples to you of where we are in our culture and why religious freedom is such an important issue. I'd like you to consider the fire department in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. They are now being threatened with legal action because they dare to post the firefighter's prayer on their website. Now, folks, Woonsocket, Rhode Island is in the United States of America. And it amazes me and shocks me and grieves me that they're being threatened with legal action for putting what I'm sure is almost an annoyingly benign prayer, right? Can you imagine what the firefighter's prayer is like? I don't think they mention the Filioque clause or anything about sexuality. Probably doesn't mention anything about sexuality or the life issue in the firefighter's prayer, and yet there it is. It proudly proclaims that they've served, quote, since 1836 with pride, professionalism, and heart. But apparently they'd better not dare serve with faith because they're now being threatened with legal action. I also have to mention the Seattle Elementary School that allowed a high school volunteer to organize an Easter egg hunt for the kids. Now, she was warned not to call the eggs. By the way, they were filled with jelly beans. Yeah, somebody should alert the First Lady, because there's a lot of sugar in those jelly beans. But somebody should well, I guess the point is she was warned, I should say, excuse me, not to call the eggs Easter eggs. This is true, right? This happened in Seattle, and they were called, now this is self-parody. Do you know what they were called? Spring spheres. It's just such a beautiful phrase. You really just want to do away with the whole Easter egg concept. And now, the children, who were very, very bad, persisted in calling them Easter eggs. Just a shocking thing, all these little traitors. And I think, folks, that's a good sign. Let's leave it at that. Finally, Silver Spring, Maryland Post Office. Do you know what happened there? They banned Christmas carolers last winter. For that, maybe you already read this, they received a FedExed piece of coal, the 2011 Becket Fund Ebenezer Award. And we don't know what is the more poignant symbol, the lump of coal or the idea of FedEx making delivery to U.S. Post Office.